Hello, this is Killican, and the question of the day is, what the hell happened to Disney? Yes, Disney, that magical place in entertainment where dreams come true, where parents could once take comfort in knowing that the programming rated G or even PG would be safe for the whole family, and where all Americans could be sure they would not be barred from enjoyment based upon race, gender, or politics. Needless to say, something is rotten in the magical kingdom. I have already touched on the sickness in Disney's heart in multiple videos, but a recent revelation has revealed a large part of the problem is the present-day management's disdain and/or disregard for previous generations of Disney. And what if I told you evidence of this could be found in the subtitle of a more recent novel printed by the self-same company? Impossible, I can hear you say. Well, feast your eyes. Part of Your World by Liz Braswell, subtitled, What If Ariel Had Never Defeated Ursula? Part of a series of novels set in alternate timelines, in which the bad guys, to some degree or another, have won. It's important to note right now that I have not read this particular book. I have read one of her previous titles, An Alternate Ending to Sleeping Beauty, which was rife with present-day speech patterns and feminist jargon, despite being set in, as Prince Philip himself said, the 14th century. That alone should make plain how little regard the writer and publisher have for the source material. But to both Disney aficionados, as well as anyone with a pulse who has seen The Little Mermaid, the problem should be also painfully obvious. This being the internet, I will cheerfully state the obvious fact that Ariel simply did not defeat Ursula. For those who haven't seen the movie in a while, as I recall, Ariel was lying helpless on her tail fin at the bottom of a maelstrom, whilst a certain straight white male used his toxic masculinity to climb aboard and take the helm of an unmanned ship, conveniently equipped with a battering ram, and obligingly sent the corpulent villainess the way of Count Dracula. Some of you might argue I am nitpicking or judging a book based on its cover, but here's the rub. Ursula's death had to be by Eric's hands for the completion of King Triton's character arc. Now, a good way of finding out who a story is really about is to ask who changes. And the only character in The Little Mermaid who goes through any kind of transition at all is Triton. You know, the egomaniac who lost his temper at his daughter for embarrassing him by not singing his decadent happy birthday to me song, only forgetting that infraction when he learns his daughter visited the surface, the human realm, though he's not beneath feeling remorse when he loses his cool. The jerkwad also smashed his daughter's trophy room in a blind rage when he learned that she had an admittedly possibly bestiality crush on a homo sapien. But then, to save his daughter from a cursed existence, he agreed to take her place at the proverbial guillotine. The fact that it was a human who killed Ursula and set Triton and many other merfolk free was what ultimately inspired Triton to change Ariel into a human himself and trust a human male with his daughter's safety. Although the main character of the story is a young girl who rebels against her father in the name of a forbidden romance, the story of The Little Mermaid is, in fact, a story of love between a daddy and a daughter, not a female empowerment tale or even really a romance, although the latter is certainly part of it. Still not convinced? Dig this. The final spoken lines of dialogue in the film are Triton lamenting how much he will miss his daughter, and then Ariel hugging her daddy at the wedding and saying, "I love you." Mic drop, baby. Merely the fact that the writer and publisher of this novel managed to misconstrue exactly who did defeat Ursula is proof enough that they don't understand or respect the film, except that it be used as a sentimental soapbox for spouting postmodernist disestablishment preachifying. But, as mentioned, this is hardly a surprise to anyone who's read any previous books in this pamphleteering series, having Aurora scorn Prince Philip for not telling her from the beginning he was a prince, and then cursing the feudal system of the 14th century for having arranged marriages, or the fact that Miss Braswell couldn't even make it through the first 2 pages of her alternate World Beauty and the Beast novel without an anti-colonialism sermon about how bad Europeans were for bringing a religion to Native Americans that they, quote, didn't want, unquote. Yeah, tell that to St. Kateri Tekakwitha and all the other tribes converted by Jesuits of their own free will. Jesuits not bringing military escorts, unlike the conquistadors. Historical fiction is clearly not her strong point. Best stick to revisionist fairy tales. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and share. Don't forget to subscribe, and peace out.